Good morning, retail traders. I'm Washboardjim with a sneaky snake trading strategy where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And I just want to kind of do a little bit of talking and go over a few indices right now and see where supports and resistances are, and maybe go over a couple of stocks. So I'll try to make this short and sweet. So right off the bat, we got /ES. We'll look at the bigger picture here. This is the weekly time frame, and I think to keep it at support and to break resistance levels, we're going to be using the weekly time frame and using the 9 EMA. So I'm going to put a little trend line right here. See what that 9 EMA is? That's that blue line. It's going to run right into the body of these here candles right here. So I'm going to magnify this up, and that's going to be a head and shoulders. And that's a tweezer bottom right there. So we're going to put a little price line right around 58.42, and that's just right above the 9 EMA. And the resistance to break will be this tweezer top, and we'll put a price line right there. This is a /ES. So that resistance is at 60.10.69. We got to break that this week, and we could double top on that there candle right there, that wick on top of that. Then we have a triple top right here where we had the fail of the triple top, one tubus 3B, and she went ahead and pulled on back. That's when we had the correction, and it's run up here to a head and shoulders right now, or at least a good resistance level. So we're going to have to break this tweezer top before it become bullish, and I want to see where that price line is. So that's around 16, like I said, 60.10.69. So we're going to take this same time frame and we're going to put it on the daily. So at 60.10.69 breaks, we could go ahead and run back up here to this tweezer top at 60.47 for this week to be a hard resistance and maintain that 21 to stay bullish right there at 59.32. So I'm using the moving averages. We got the 9 EMA for a low support. That'll bounce right off the 200 SMA on the daily. So that's still a solid support if we do go into a sell-off. If we can maintain the 59.32.73 right to the penny, that means we'll stay bullish. And the resistance channel to break will be that 60.10.69 and 60.47.60 for a very hard resistance. And that's going to be the /ES. And we're going to go straight to the IWM. Clean this all up. Move this to the weekly. Kind of almost want to use a different chart here. Let me see. That's hourly. See if I can find a different chart. There we go. Nope. There we go. So we'll put this on the weekly. IWM. We hit the 50 SMA last week on the IWM. This is a weekly time frame, so that becomes, so we had support right here, and we had the 3 black crows. So that 50 is going to be your resistance to break on the weekly, and we're going to go ahead and put a price line right there on the top of that wick. Close to it, somewhere between 216. Support will definitely be the 63 on the weekly, right around 208.58. With a strong buy off the 9. Maybe a strong buy, or it comes back and it hits the 200. But for right now, we're going to keep that 9 at 204.86. Then we'll take this to the daily. Exactly. I like the daily here. We're out to 21. So there's going to be a little support channel right in there, and I'm going to go ahead and put a support channel right around 208.12. Keep this thing very bullish. 208.20. So that's a small little trend line right there. Let's color that in. Put that pink. So that's going to be a strong support. If that doesn't hold, then we're going to drop down and hit this 63. And I'm going to put an alert right on the bottom of this candle right here. I'm going to call it body of candle. Put a little price line right in there for solid support. A little bit higher, but we'll raise this up just a little bit. Change it to 206.82. That'll keep this thing very bullish, or we come down and we hit this here 63, and I'm going to put another alert right there. This is for the IWM, right off the 63 EMA. So I'll type this here in here on the daily, 63 EMA on daily. And that's more or less it. We'll look at the hour just to see if I see anything different on the hour. Yeah, so we had a channel of support right here with the head and shoulders. So if we can maintain this, we'll go back up and hit that 200 EMA. Excuse me. That 200 EMA right around 210 or something like that. It's going to be a hard resistance. So we got two support levels. Alert set, 205.57 and 206.82. Channel of support is going to be that pink line right there. If we can hold that, we'll run back up and do a double top at 210. Let's go to the QQQ. Put this on the weekly. Erase this all up. So support's going to be off the 9. And we're going to go ahead and put it on the body of these candles right here. That support line right around 506.88, and resistance to break will be a double top up here right around 539.55. That'll be a triple top. We got that wick, those two bodies, and that'll be a hard resistance. So let's take this to the daily. And we got a Darvas box right here, and that 9 at 21 EMA is going to be your support level. We're going to raise it up just a little bit to the body of that candle. And so if that maintains 522.11, we'll stay bullish. It's about a $5, $6 dip. If not, she could pull back a little bit lower, and we're going to use this here resistance level for an alert. And that's right in here, off this here body of this candle. But we wanted to maintain and hold this here first support at 522.11 to stay bullish. We're under the 9 right now, which means once you go below the 9, we've done it once right here and had a real nice bounce back up. So this thing could easily pull back and hit that 522.11 and then run back up and try to break resistance and do the triple top up here at 540.81. A little bit close to it. If you get close to it, you might want to scale out if it does pull back and hit that 21 on the daily. So let's look at the hourly and see if I can find anything in here that would say, Jim, you might want to see. Here's a good pivot point area right in here. So we're going to put a support channel to maintain this thing to stay bullish. And it's going to be right off the body of that. Let me put it back in here. Make this pink. That way I'll know that it's a solid support, and if it holds, we'll stay bullish. If not, we'll run down here and hit this lower support at 515. That's about a $10 dip if drama starts to come into the market. And there is a spot right in here too that I kind of like. I like using the hour when it comes to scalping and swing trading. That way I can get more precise with the timing of it. What do I want to do here? I want to put a price line right on the top, right there. And I'm going to set an alert right above that price line. And I'm going to type in warning to support to stay bullish. And if we don't hold that, I'll re-look at this. But I think I'm going to put another alert right here on the body of this candle right here. And I got two alerts set for that. We've got a head and shoulders right here on the hour at 515.48. And then we kind of got another little support at 518.90. If it does not hold 522.11 to 523.87. Then I have my alert set just in case we fall back and hit that channel. And that'd be a 1, 2, 3 right there. So we could stop short. And I'm going to go ahead and put me a little price line. See, we got us a flag right here. And I'm going to show you the flag. That falls short, and then we got this right here on the hour. And that's a symmetrical flag. So this thing could find resistance up here and pull back. So that's going to be your solid resistance level right around 530, 30.86 with solid support right here at 524. And you can play within that flag. And here sometime this coming week, in a couple of days, especially if we get some news on Iran, they might be getting them a new leader because, you know, we need to get peace over there. And the only way you can get peace is get rid of the hate. Death to America, death to Israel. If we get rid of that, we can start creating some peace over there. And I think Iran would really love that. Trump will make a deal with them and bring back their economy. But we got to get rid of that hate. So support will be off this flag. That's called a symmetrical flag. And resistance to break will be the pivot point area right around 528 off the 200 EMA. So let's put a channel of resistance right there. And that'll be your pivot point. We're going to raise it up just a little bit. Right about in there. 528.69. If we can break that, we should be able to run up here to 530 and find some resistance and consolidate and then have the breakout this coming week. Then we've got the SPY next. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go straight to the weekly time frame. We're going to erase all this rigmarole. Go straight to the weekly. I'm just kind of showing you how I've looked for support levels and resistance levels on the weekly and the daily and the 1 hour. So let's go to the weekly. We do have a triple top up here. maybe even a quad top if it decides to break. But let's just look here at the triple top right now with the wick right there and the bodies right there and almost that right there too. So it's pretty close to already having a triple top, and we pulled back, and now we're back up to resistance levels. We have a tweezer top right here, which means we could consolidate, pull back, and then run back up and try to break this here resistance. So here on the weekly, we're going to put in the tweezer top resistance for right now, and that's what we got to break to bring this up higher and to run it all the way up to 611.23, where she pulls back on the weekly here and lands on the 9. And we're going to use the body of that candle right there, that green one. Matches up with the 9. And got some pretty good, I mean, it could go up just a little bit, so I'm going to raise my alert for a strong buy on that stock right here off them 2 candles. And I'm going to type in to stay bullish. On the alert, so when it pops up, I'll know what it means. 584.47. Then we're going to go to the daily. We hold to maintain the 9. We stay bullish. Right now we're under the 9. If we maintain the 21, excuse me. So I'm going to set another alert right above the 21. And I'm going to type in 21 EMA on daily. So when the alert pops up, I'll know exactly what it's telling me. And I'll use that as a reference to stay bullish. And then come back and retrace this resistance line at 599.65. And if we can do that, we've got our hard resistance to break here at 604.35, and I'm going to go right below it. I'm going to go right below it. And type in alert, and I'm going to say resistance to break. 604.35. So I got my resistance. What did I do? Type in, oh yeah. I typed in 604.35. We'll hit at 603.50. And even that could probably be a resistance. And if we can break that, then I'll have more. I'll say, hey, this looks like we're getting close to resistance. And if we can break this, we're going to go higher and go up here to the all-time high. If not, we stay bullish if we pull back and hit 592.33. With a stronger buy set down here at between the 581.27 and the 584.37. That's going to be the SPY. So we're going to look at the hour. $20-day. I kind of want to bring this up just a little bit, and I think I will. Just right there. And bring this one up just a little bit to that head and shoulders right there. So that way I'll know, head and shoulders on the hour here, and I'll be looking at that 593 just in case we pull back. And then resistance to break will definitely be that 604.35. We also have another flag here, so we're starting to squeeze. And we're going to go ahead and put that flag in here to keep it. Use the body right there. Run it up to that body. Same thing right here. Use that body and run it to that body. So this thing could double top, find some resistance channel, and then go long to the top of that body right there with the 1, 2, 3 resistance. So we got to break 599.65, and then we're going to have another one right here, another resistance level at 601.33, and then we'll know that this here trend line on the hour will definitely be a support to reckon with, resistance to reckon with. And I'm going to lower that under that trend line. So that changes now to 602.58 on the 1 hour time frame, because that's a resistance on the hour, and you want to watch that flag, or it comes down and it touches right here and it bounces back up. So that's the SPY. Then the last one, SPX. Let's change this to the weekly. We want to use the 9 as a support level. See what it matches up to over here. If it matches up to anything, I like that spot right there. We got that wick, the body, the wick. So we're going to put a price line right there, and that's right at the 9. That could hold because that's kind of continuous right there. With a resistance to break will be the tweezer top. So to stay bullish, we got to maintain 58.21.38, and to break resistance, we got to break 6,005. So let's take us to the daily, and the pivot point is going to be the 21 EMA. So we're going to put a price line right there and set an alert right above that and type that in. We're going to type in 21 EMA on daily. That maintained the bullishness of the trade. 59.26.63. This is just alerting me before we get there, just in case I'll know we're kind of bearish. We're still bullish if we maintain that 59.26.63. Now I'm going to go to the hour. Same thing. We got a double bottom right here. We're off the 200. So if we can hold the 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame, we run it back up to the top. We do have a head and shoulders right here we want to keep an eye on. So I'm going to put a price line or trend line. And that runs right below the 200. So basically, this alert here is going to set us up at the 200 on the 1 hour, which if we maintain that 200, we stay bullish and we run it back up to the top. Resistance level will be right there, and we're going to type in an alert. Resistance of a triple top. On hour. There we go. So if we hear any news about the escalation of the Israel-Iran deal, it could get worse, or the de-escalation, the market could get a little bit less volatile, and we'd have us a nice little run to the upside. But right now we have the perfect excuse to have a little bit more pullback and then bounce back up. So that concludes the indices for this coming week. I'll be watching them real close. I'll be trading the SPX and the SPY. I might dabble in the IWM, and I'm going to be using the reference tool of the /ES when I trade the SPX. I have the VWAP here so I can watch it on the daily. If we break above the VWAP on the 1 minute, And I'll use different time frames to kind of conclude if I want to take that trade or not. Usually the 2 minute and the 5 minute, along with the 1 minute. I'll just get more precise with my entry on the 1 minute. So this is the Sneaky Snake trading strategy with Washboardjim. I wish everybody a good week. Use patience. I divide my time frames up differently when I'm trading throughout the week. I got my beach trade, then I got my setup trades, then I got be careful caution trade, which usually comes between Eastern time between the hours of 1 and 3. And then we got the power hour trade, which we're setting up to maybe have some nice, good-looking scalps. I wish everybody a great week. This is Washboardjim with a Sneaky Snake trading strategy where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now.